From the City of Angels, you're listening to the James Salazar Media Podcast. On this week's episode, we're going to do a summer TV and movie review extravaganza. So let me strike the music, and I'll meet you on the other side.
Engage.
Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Say hello to my little friend.
Will I am the Father?
I'd like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody.
And welcome to the James Salazar Media Podcast, where you get your dose of pop culture, politics, and futurism. Today, we are going to talk about the summer TV and movie reviews. As you know, I am a sci-fi, fantasy, and horror fan, so I only review those type of TV shows and movies. But if there's a great drama like Yellowstone, I will review that. Some of these dramas are just undeniable, and we review those as well. But we just got out of summer. There was plenty of TV shows that were on, and I got opinions about them. I watch them, I review them. I'm on a 5 potato scoring. Number 5 is the most awesome. The most awesome. Number 1, do not watch. Do not bother your time. Number 2, you gotta like the genre. Number 3, yeah, it's okay. Number 4, excellent. Number 5, must watch. So, since we have a lot to review, so our first review is The Orville. The Orville. Ow, son of a bitch. Sorry. Yeah, everybody knows that The Orville is a spoof on Star Trek. The world is very similar. Instead of the Federation, is what do you call it? Shoot. The Alliance, I think. And the first season was super funny, a lot of comedy in it, and it gets more serious in the second season, still funny, still have their moments of funny, and in the third season it gets really serious, but still have its moments, finds moments to make you laugh. But in the second season, and in this first season, there's a race called the Mocklins, and they are an all-male race. And they get into, and their species, majority of their species produces males, but sometimes they produce females, and they reassign their sex before they grow up and make them a male if they're a girl. And the moral sensibilities of the humans find this terrible. And so they double down in the third season, and it gets pretty political, like the politics that we're dealing with right now. It straddles so many ideas. It was very interesting. It straddles like whatever you feel you are, you should be, number 1. Number 2, changing the surgery from somebody's natural state, like changing a girl to a man, seems barbaric. And the tolerance. So I wasn't sure exactly the message that Seth was trying to portray in this season concerning the Mocklins and changing their race, changing their gender of a girl to a boy because they only accept boys. And they say that's wrong, but they're definitely straddling the line of intolerance to what somebody feels they are inside. So it was a little bit confusing. what the message he was. And that might be on purpose because everybody's a dichotomy, right? We do, as a conservative libertarian, more libertarian, find sex change troublesome. Child abuse when it's young just has to be just let the kids grow up, and if they want to at the proper age to have sex surgery, that's up to them, their free will. But we should keep all medicines and surgeries away from children until they're a responsible age. This is my personal opinion. And I know a lot of people find that hateful and intolerant. But he also straddles the lines of what it means to be intolerant and not accepting people who how they identify, or they feel something wrong being the wrong gender. So, and like I said, people are dichotomy. He may feel that we should accept people and how they feel, but he might also find it barbaric to change people's sex so young from their natural born state. So he is definitely talking about issues that we are tackling here in our society today. And I found it very interesting. Makes you feel awkward watching it. There's some funny scenes about Machna's mating rituals. Pretty funny. But in this last season, I'm not sure if it's the last season or the next season, or this past season, that they just doubled down on their three main races that came to prominence in the first two seasons, and that's the Krill and the Kaylon. Now, the Kaylon is like almost like the Borg, but they're not synthetic mix of synthetic and the organic like the Borg is. It's completely mechanical, and it also talks about the moral dilemma of creating artificial intelligence to help us, and which will then be slaves. And as consciousness begins to arise in artificial intelligence, they will construe that we are slaveholders, that we are enslaving them, or that we're just assholes in general and need to be done away with. This is the common apocalypse theme. And there's a world that was completely destroyed by the Kaylon, who created them, that enslaved them. And as they were gaining consciousness, they started to add more controls and they put senses in them where they can feel pain and emotions and fear for obedience. Thousands of years later, they are trying to take over the universe and wipe out all organic life. So they double down on that. They go into that again. There's some good. It felt like they're ending on this third season, but it sounds some good resolutions, and also with the Krill, they're like a. How would you say, like a Romulan, Cardassian mix, very aggressive race that believes in a religion, and the religion makes them do bad things. And we know that Seth Rogen is a atheist, and he's definitely preaching from that aspect. But overall, it's one of the best seasons. It is the best season. It's the one I like the most. And I liked the first one. I liked all of them. I thought they were very good. But they had way more action in this one. They had a couple wars, and the graphics were amazing. So I give the final season, unsure, of the Orville 4 potatoes. Not quite 5. It came close to 5 for 4 potatoes. One of the best seasons. One of the best, for sure, science fiction TV shows out there, which has some levity in it. So the next one is For All Mankind. Now, if you do not know about the For All Mankind, just a quick review is that it proposes the idea that the United States didn't get to the moon first. And the first, I think we're in the third season. I'm not sure. But in this new season, they go to Mars. And it's one of the best seasons, hands down. Full of action, intrigue, and there's a space race between two countries and a corporation. And there's a surprise at the end of who gets there first. It was exciting to watch. I was always waiting for the TV show to come on. The main characters, still awesome, acted greatly. The storyline is one of the best. And this venture into Mars, it does not disappoint. It does not disappoint. I do not want to spoil it for you in any moment. It starts off with a bang, and it ends with a bang. So, yeah, For All Mankind, for me, definitely gets 5 potatoes. It is one of the best shows from Apple. And it'll be worth it for you to purchase Apple for about a month or two and watch that show. Cancel later. But if you're going to do that, watch, what is that? Foundations, which is an excellent, highbrow sci-fi TV show. Super great. One of the best sci-fi shows ever, and it's done by Apple. So for sure, if you're going to do that, watch C, and there's just a lot of good stuff on Apple right now. And their model is very interesting compared to everybody else's model. They don't do anybody else's content. It is 100% their original content. And after 2 years, they have quite a bit of stuff, and they're prolific at what they bring out. And they're 100% doing their stuff. There are many more, movies. Yeah, but definitely get Apple. Yeah. Yeah, so 5 potatoes For All Mankind. Next one is Evil. This is a great TV show. Loved it from the beginning. It straddles the line of what is spiritual and what is psychological. It's about these 3 people, a priest, a psychologist, and someone who's a scientist and a debunker, all go and they're called auditors, and they check out outlandish or weird or claims but from people to the Catholic Church, and they go investigate. And sometimes it's just a natural cause, and sometimes you're wondering if it's something spiritual in nature. And but now they're doubling down to this overarching story about one of the kids in the show, and that evil and good have a plan for. And it is great, very well written, very well acted. The bad people are bad. And the good people are trying to hold it together. I don't want to spoil it for you because it's getting deeper and deeper and deeper. The season finale was a shocker, but you knew it was going there. And I don't want to spoil it for you, but it's one of the best season finales. It's the best one so far. And the growth of all the characters is pretty amazing. And what they're dealing with individually. And people are seeing visions from God. People are seeing demons. Or is it all in their head? So, or is it the plan of God, or is it the plan of Satan? And you are constantly guessing with this TV show. The 3rd season did not disappoint. It is at a 4.5 potato because I think it's going to even step up. It is a great TV show. I cannot suggest it enough. Evil. And what do we have here? Hold on, it's behind. Oh shit! What the hell? Oh, that's from last week. Hold on, some bitches. Get on my back. Okay, so what's this? All right. So we are at what? That was no, not that one. That was Evil. Boom. Superman and Lois. Now, I feel iffy about this because I love all the interactions with Superman and his kids and what his kids are dealing with and what the town is dealing with, but with spoiler, they end up going to a alternate universe. That when someone visits from the alternate universe, everything's backwards. They talk backwards and they look backwards. And this is where you get spoiler 1, 2, 3, 4. You get Bizarro, or a Bizarro type character. It's just that the bad person, the enemy of the story, was just not compelling to me. Everything else was. Superman's interaction with his brothers, with his wife, his kids' interaction with their girl he's dating, and trying to understand their powers. His son, who doesn't have the powers, just trying to cope with being the unsuper person, and all that's super intriguing. I love it. It's really good. It's just they could have used, and the second season enemy was his brother, and he was a good enemy. He becomes friend in the third season, but he was a good enemy, intriguing, and it tells a great story. But just wasn't compelled by the bad person in this one. The protagonist was not good. It wasn't. It was just some lady, some cult leader, and obviously she did evil shit and had evil ideas. But we're still in the realm of comic books, and enemies need to be over the top, at least for me. So I'll give it a 3.5 potatoes. Would have gotten 2, but I'll give it 3.5, almost 4, because of all the other stuff in it, which is really good. Hopefully, this next season, they have a much more compelling, if it's approved, a much more compelling enemy. So, 3.5 stars for that. And we have Thor, Love, and Thunder. I have mixed feelings about this movie. Number 1, Christian Bale, awesome like always, very compelling, very charismatic. You truly see the difference in acting when he's on there. And same with Russell Crowe. They're phenomenal actors, and they do a great job. But I forget the Taika, the director. He did Thor Ragnarok, and I thought Thor Ragnarok was new and refreshing because it had a lot of levity in it. But then in Thor: Love and Thunder, it's very entertaining. It just always went for the funny, and there was no really compelling moments like there were in the rest of the Thor franchise. And his interactions with the Guardian of the Galaxy was very limited. I wanted to see more of that. I love the dynamic between Star-Lord and Thor, and how they go back and forth with one another. And it wasn't really prevalent, just a little bit. and I wanted to see maybe a good half an hour of Quill and Thor going back, struggling for attention and struggling for power. They didn't do that, so I was disappointed with that. Number one, and I was disappointed at the too many jokes, and unfortunately, Natalie Portman. Chris Hemsworth is a great actor. He can do serious and he can do funny. He can do funny really well. Maybe do funny better than Christian Bale. But you saw that Natalie Portman, beautiful and a great actor, Academy Award-winning actress. She is not funny. She's just not funny. She can't do funny. And it's very hard for people to do funny. Let me tell you. Some of my favorite actors can't do funny. Gary Oldman, Daniel Day-Lewis. I've never seen them in something funny, compelling. Maybe Gary Oldman a little bit, but mostly, top actors find it very hard to do. I mean, Anthony Hopkins, he could do funny, and there's a lot of great actors who can do funny. I digress. But Natalie Portman can't. And there was a stark difference between their dialogue. He was drowning her in his wit and his comic timing. So I just think they just went too far. And for the Marvel Universe altogether, this fourth phase, it seemed pretty unnecessary, and so let me jump here, and I give this 3 potatoes. It's entertaining. It is the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and it does answer some question. It tells the story, but I've seen a lot of drop opportunities, a lot of drop balls. But let me look for. Let me see. Doctor Strange and the Universe of Madness. This also was a disappointment. I mean, the character of Doctor Strange is pretty charismatic, pretty great, and I like that he went through different. Both of them looked amazing, but. And there were some great moments in there where Scarlet Witch, and spoiler in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 potatoes, kicked a lot of people's ass that were a part of, that were, they had this council, and they brought back, what's his name? The guy who plays, Captain Pike in For All Mankind, which we're going to be getting into. He comes back as a character, and which he played in a failed TV show, but they kept him consistent with that character. They hired the same actor, which is nice. But I mean, the universe almost explodes, and the answer to fixing and beating Scarlet Witch and the multiverse from crumbling is a girl just believing in herself. And I don't mind you being woke if you have a good, thought out situation. If she suddenly became a genius and figured out some unique way to finish Scarlet Witch, I'll be okay, that's fine. That's interesting. I don't mind a girl being the hero. But I do mind you just like going through an hour and a half of all these problems and the scared girl, and suddenly there's a good conversation between her and Doctor Strange, and he says, believe in yourself, and suddenly she just automatically believes in herself, loses all the fear, and defeats Scarlet Witch. It's too easy. It's bad writing. I have no problem with the character. It was her character was inconsequential to me. Obviously, they went woke and was a gay parent. It doesn't matter much to me. That's what they're gonna go. I'm expecting that now. Don't think it's good writing, but you know, we do live in a universe where there is gay couples that have kids. But say that to say this, it's not because I don't like the character's a girl or that she has gay parents. It's that they wrote a very simple character and who solves the problem simply. And as you know, in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, fixing things is very complicated. We saw that in Endgame. It's very highbrow for being a superhero movie. And they did not go that route here. I mean, it was pretty clever. The best part of the movie is zombie Doctor Strange. That's pretty awesome. It looked amazing. It was pretty cool. But at the end of the day, they just dropped the ball on this one. Doctor Strange, the first one, was one of the best Marvel movies, hands down. One of the characters, the journey of that character is amazing. And it just, there should have been more. I don't know. Right now I might do an episode of how I would do it, how I would write it. Right now I need to think about it because they dropped the ball. Scarlet Witch seemed weird. Her motivation for causing a lot of problems. It's just like it felt like they threw it together. Even though the graphics were amazing, the acting was good. But because of the storyline, it gets 3 potatoes. It still gets a 3 potatoes because it's a Marvel Cinematic Universe. I don't particularly believe it should be kicked out of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. They automatically start at number 3 for me because there will be things from there and there'll be things written ahead that will make that seem more relevant. I'm pretty sure. Then I'll look back and say, oh, it's better than I thought now in the light of this. So it gets 3. Not more than 3. I think the actors should step up when the story isn't good. I hear a lot of actors say that I'm not going to do it until I see a good screenplay. And Cumberbatch has done a lot of good movies that are deep, thoughtful, and shouldn't have accepted the screenplay. Personally, I don't know if he has the power to do that. Maybe he's already in contracts and he can't say no. But whatever it is, it gets 3 potatoes. And the 4th phase of the Marvel Cinematic Universe seems so useless. Hopefully the 5th phase starts ramping things up. Oh, darn it. I'm now realizing there's some movies I have left out. The Eternals. I don't have it up here, but let me review the Eternals. The Eternals was okay. It was acted okay. The storyline was okay. But I know that movie sets up what's going to happen in the 5th phase. And it's important to watch, but it was okay. I'm way more disappointed with Thor and Doctor Strange. And I'll give that one a 3.5 potatoes. It doesn't get a 4, The Eternals. But you should watch it. Those Celestials are going to be the issues going forward. And will be the catalyst for the new Avenger movies. So if you're a Marvel Cinematic Universe fan, you're going to need to know about those things. Just saying. So let me do one more sci-fi, because I got some dramas I want to cover. The Umbrella Academy. Now, it seems like every superhero movie has some woke idea. And as we know, formerly Ellen Page, now Alan Page, I think, transitioned to a man, and the character doesn't transition physically, but transitions in the character, just sees themselves and identifies as a man, and they go into it in the show. They try to explain it. Obviously, the members of the family are very tolerant and accepting of it, and they just short explanation of it. They didn't shove it in your face. The character still took his place as one of the most powerful characters in the Umbrella Academy. But once again, the Umbrella Academy has to deal with the apocalypse again. They keep on causing the apocalypse. And this time, they go to an alternate universe where there's totally different people who are a part of the Umbrella Academy, and they call it a different name. Spoiler 1, 2, 3, called the Sparrow Academy, and they have conflicts, they have fights, and and it's good. It's the interactions between the characters that make it exciting. The apocalypse just slowly came, but it was as the third season. I want to at moment. I'm trying to know what I'm trying to say here, but it's because I'm thinking about it now. Not much happened in it, and it talked about a storyline that was brand new, based on the Sparrow Academy group of people, and certain events. Certain people change. Hold on. I am having a brain fart on this. You know, I love the first and second season. So, as I'm talking right now, the third season is not as good as those two. It's just not. I like number 5. He's my favorite character in it, and he does the least. He's still one of the most important characters, but he does the least in this show, and I like when he's killing people and dealing with the ministry, I think it's called. I'm not sure. But after much reflection, as I'm talking to you right now, yeah, I would say the other two, the first one gets like a 4.5, second one gets like a 4, and this one gets like a 3.5. Because it's a little bit repetitive. And it does answer some major issues, which is the highlights of the show, about 5 in the future and the future of the world. But overall, could be better. So, Umbrella Academy, the new season, gets how many stars? It don't get no stars. It gets 3.5 potatoes after much reflection. Okay. Now, I know I left some things out, like Kenobi, and we're going to get into those to another time. But I wanted to get into this drama. This is called The Offer. This was Miles Teller, and it goes to the true story of the making of The Godfather. This was an excellent TV show because the majority of the 90% of what happens is true. That the making The Godfather, there were so many hoops that they had to jump through. It is unbelievable. And they document it with the character that Miles Teller plays, who's blowing up right now. Who's completely blowing up right now. He's in like 3. In last summer, he was in Maverick, The Offer, and a TV show and a movie by Netflix with Chris Hemsworth, which I will review. I haven't watched it yet. I only got so much time. And think, yes, it's great. It is great. It tells the difficulties with Francis Ford Coppola, with the mob, with the government, with hiring actors, and what the studio wanted. And every time the studio tried to take it over, it's just as good as Mad Men. It has that feel to it, but it's true. It's a true story. So 5 potatoes for the offer, historical reenactment of what happened making the Godfather movie. And last but not least, let me see, do I got it up? Hold on. Maverick. Let me expand this for you guys. Maverick. This was a feel-good movie of the summer, for sure. It made it popular to be patriotic. And it was and Tom Cruise wasn't going to compromise his movie, so he waited, number one, for it to be shown in summer because he did not want it to go straight to video. He wanted everyone to see it in the movie theater, and it paid dividends. It was one of the highest grossing movies of the year. Made over $1 billion. And China wanted to say to him, if you want it to over here in China, you got to take out a Korean flag. I mean, not Thai, I think it's Thailand flag or something. And he wasn't going to do it, and he didn't distribute it in China, and it was still a success. And that's who he is. This is why he makes his own movies, so he can have that kind of control and pretty much say to anybody, fuck you, I'm not going to do that. And I admire him for that. I understand there's some troublesome things about him, that he's Scientology and a part of that group. I've never known him particularly to do something illegal or try to capture people and shove them into some kind of brainwashing idea. I know he promotes it, but that's neither here nor there. The fact of the matter is, this was a great movie. It was a great return for Top Gun and Maverick, and it gave everybody what everybody wanted to see. They wanted to see the brilliance and the A-type personality that the character Maverick has, and his ability to be the best fighter pilot ever seen. And I thought going into this that there was going to be another young guy who's just as good. And spoiler in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But to my happiness is that he was still the best pilot by far. Nobody is better than Maverick. And I like that he wrote that in. It's very 80s, like Rambo Can Never Be Shot, and all those type of movies where the hero is the best hero. And because in nowadays you would write all the flaws of the hero from the 80s, and you would write how he's not as good as he was, and he has to take humble pie because somebody's better than him. That did not happen in this movie. Maverick was trying to teach his people, they weren't getting it, and he had to show them how to do it. And because of how he did it, he's the hero through the whole story. He gave moments to Miles Teller in it, but he's the hero of the whole story. Maverick's still the best pilot fighter in human history, and it was great to watch. Very patriotic. Everybody was, for that moment in time, everybody was proud to be an American because of a movie, and so was I. And I felt good about America. I felt good to watch America on the screen in a good light. It felt really good because I'm a proud American. I'm not saying we don't have flaws. We absolutely have flaws. We definitely have far to go and fixing the problems in this country. But it's more likely to happen here than anywhere else in the world. This is the best country in the world, and millions of immigrants vote with their feet every year to let everybody know. that this is a country. And guess what? When they come in, they don't go, they don't leave, they don't say, oh, this was a lie, I'm heading back home. They don't. They stay. And they become productive. They buy houses. They live well. You know? In fact, there are more problems with the people who were born here and them taking advantage of the American system. So many of them are taught that the system rigged against you. But when an immigrant comes here and works hard and starts out with a taco truck, a taco cart, and a taco truck, and then a restaurant, and they're buying a house, my friend, that immigrant is too dumb to know that the system rigged against him. Or is it that he wasn't taught that bullshit? Guess what? I understand. There is no equality. Some people start in bad places, worse places. No one starts at the same place. But that does not stop you in this country from being a success. You can still in this country be a success no matter where you start. But you got to believe you can. Because the person who believes they can and the person who believes they can't, they are both right. They are both right. So there you go. Those are my reviews. 41 minutes in. I'm glad I got it done. Hey, if you have any comments about my reviews, if you think I'm just straight out wrong, put it in an email, put it in the comments. Please subscribe to the James Salazar Media Podcast. Please subscribe it on the video podcast. It's now video now. It's video now. This will go up on YouTube, on the James Salazar Media channel. And just in general, if you go to, I'm pretty much on all social media platforms, just type in James Salazar Media. I should come up. Subscribe, follow, whatever you need to do. I would greatly appreciate it. Tell people about the podcast. Tell people about the YouTube channel. Please, it would be great. I would appreciate it. And I love to read your reviews about my reviews. Hey, also, my friends, if you are looking for live coaching, if you need someone in your corner, I got a link below that will link you to one of my self-teaching courses. Also, join the Brightburn Society Facebook group where we talk about mindsets and modalities and what it means to be a success. Join there. Whatever you can do to maximize your human potential. And we can all grow, we can all get better, and every day if you get better by 1%, you are headed in the right direction. And if you feel you're going backwards, click one of those links. Be a part of the Facebook group. Check out my self-teaching course, and I will be opening up a group coaching course pretty soon here. I also have for you a free handout just for you. Click that, get that, read that, and enjoy that. So, my friends, we're going to end it here. If the storm of life comes against you and you find yourself on your knees, stand tall and take a look at that storm and say what my sensei Jack Burton always says, give me your best shot. Strike the music. And here we go.
Engage.
Ask not what your country can do for you.
I'm going to put this up.
Ask what you can do.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for
Get
mankind.
out of here.
Say hello to my little friend.
I'd like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody.
Yeah, boy. Hold on. Let's end with the logo. Bye-bye, everyone. Bye-bye.